Hey folks, welcome back to Good Enough Customs. So this morning, it's actually Sunday morning. It's really early. Well, it's really early for me getting out to the shop. It's like 7 o'clock. So got a lot of stuff to do today. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of really fun vehicle stuff. You know how life does. Stuff happens, and you just kind of roll with it. So I had a couple different things planned for this week to work on, and none of that really panned out. So if you might remember back to the corner of shame. So yes, at the corner of shame, a lot of crap stacked in it. Can't do anything there. It's yeah, well, that's what we did yesterday. We emptied out the corner of shame. So now it's the corner of misfit parts. So it's no longer the corner of shame. It's the corner of misfit parts. So yeah, a lot more room over here. Don't mind how all this stuff is just kind of set in, because this is just temporary. I got to figure out exactly how I'm going to lay this out. Because there's not as much stuff there as there once was, so I can actually utilize that space a little bit better now. So long story short, my buddy Kruck, he had some stuff stashed over in that corner, and well, they finally got into a position where he could actually get those moved. So so that's what we did yesterday for quite a number of hours, was moving stuff around and picking up pieces and parts, and it was an exhausting day, but we got her all sorted out. So so now I got the fun-filled task of reorganizing the shop. Not reorganizing all the shop. There's a few things in here that aggravate me the way they're set up, because I'm like, I don't really like this. But anyways, so now I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna move some stuff around and kind of lay out this whole front wall here. It's going to not the whole thing, but a good bit of it's going to get kind of reorganized and cleaned up and moved around, and kind of figure some stuff out here. So so that's kind of what today's video is. Unfortunately, it's not going to be anything really vehicle related, but sometimes you got to do shop things. So here we are. We're doing shop things. So and then I've also got this little area now where I can actually get to my my shop press. So that's nice. I still got to straighten all this crap up. But yeah, it's just the way, way it works sometimes. Sometimes you just kind of have to do shop things, and you can't do vehicle things. So so that's what I'm going to be working on today. Trying to get that stuff sorted out and get my reorganization stuff done. So so anyways, I guess it's a little chilly, so I guess I'm going to kick the heater on. And then I'm going to get started. And I guess I'll catch back up with y'all somewhere down the line here. right, moving. A lot of stuff. Not as much stuff as yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit more challenging. So just kind of moving stuff around, getting stuff sorted out. Probably not the final location for some of this, but I mean, before I'd have to move that toolbox and the hoist and a host of seats and some of this crap. I got to find a home for all that. But I have to move all that just to be able to squeeze right through here and just barely squeeze. So, so now there's like, I could do calisthenics there. Yeah, I'm doing that. Right. Anyways, so yeah, gonna enjoy my new space over here. So the next thing to deal with is all this stuff. This shelf with all my fluids and everything. Some of that's actually Kruck, so he's gonna be taking some of this. There's a good bit of it that's mine. Pretty sure all these parts up here are all mine. So I gotta go through all that. But yeah, I gotta go through all this stuff, and I gotta move this shelf over here. And I believe I'm just gonna sell this 350. See if I can get, you know, 50 bucks for it or something, since it's got to go to the machine shop. And then there's that 400 Pontiac motor, and there's a set of 6X heads. I'm gonna go ahead and sell those. I'm not gonna build a Pontiac motor. It's just too damn expensive. I can't. There's just no way. So rather than them just sitting there, figure I can sell them, get a few bucks out of them. There's like 2 or 3 more sets, 3 sets of heads I think still in the car. I'm gonna pull those out, sell those as well. I got some Pontiac 15-inch rallies. I'm gonna sell those as well. You know, so I'm just gonna kind of sell some of the Pontiac parts that I'm just not gonna use. And I think temporarily for now, I'm gonna end up using these wheels for the Pontiac, just because I have them. You know, those came off of Dad's van. They need a hell of a polish, so I'll probably get in there and polish those guys up really good. But they're 15x8s. If I can find a good price, I'd rather have some 17s or 18s at the very least. Not a huge fan of 20s on classic cars. If I can find the right set for the right price, which that right price is really low, so I doubt I'll find it. But if I can find the right set for the right price, I might put 20s on it. But I prefer to stick around a 17, maybe an 18. 18s, just tires are so expensive for those. So yeah, well, I apologize. There isn't any real wrenching or fun having on this one, but I did gain a considerable amount of room back to where now I can actually push the Blazer forward a little bit, and I'm not having to squeeze in on the back door. And all this stuff's accessible now. So that cabinet's been a pain, because that's where I usually keep all my paints and stuff. And well, there's some over here too, but most of my paints and stuff are in that cabinet, and I always have to move a million things to get to it. So now I can kind of get to it and not have to worry about it. And yeah, there's still a lot to clean up. I got my dogs playing poker posters I got to put up somewhere, or not. Yeah, there's a few things left to pick up, but just got to find holes for them. Probably next thing I'm going to do is clean up that little spot. There was a 350 that was sitting there. So that spot is now open. It's kind of my landscaping crap, so I'll probably, that air conditioning thing's going to go in the trash because it doesn't really work. So I'll probably clean this area up and maybe move some of this stuff over here to where it's a little bit more accessible. So anyways, I appreciate y'all guys watching. Like I said, I apologize. It was just, this weekend was just crammed full of stuff. This past week was super busy at work, so when I got home in the evenings, I was exhausted. So something I'd actually planned on doing was, you know, since it's, you know, first part of March, it's actually March 5th. I'd planned on getting the trucks kind of buffed out, cleaned up, and ready to go. Big John hadn't had a wax on him in 2 years almost, ever since I originally wet sanded and buffed that truck out. So he's getting a little chalky again. So he doesn't need like a good cut and buff. He just needs a good just buff, little jitter buffer I got. So he just needs a good buff and a wax. It's a lot of truck. It takes a lot of hours to complete. But he needs to be cleaned up and waxed and buffed out a little bit. Steve needs a good cleaning up and a good waxing. Probably he actually could stand a cut, just because I never really got a good cut on it when I did the clear coat. I forget how long ago that was. But yeah, you can still see some sand marks and some fish eyes that are still in there. But so that was kind of my plan for this weekend, was kind of start, you know, cleaning stuff up, getting it ready to go. Maybe show y'all guys some buffing. I've been doing it since I was about 15, so I can sling a buffer with the best of them. May not be the best practices, but it works. That was kind of my plan, but then, you know, like I said, we decided to move all this stuff out of the corner, and God, I can't stop staring at it. It's glorious. So anyways, if this week isn't too terribly crazy at work, where I can get out here at night, I may go ahead and do some buffing and cleaning this week and try to get that stuff done. Maybe have a little bonus video. And then I've got to get the Pontiac pulled out. I opened up the doors on that guy the other day, and whew, it make you step back. It was pretty ripe. There's definitely some mice nest in there, because it just reeked of ammonia and mouse poo. So I got to get in there and dig those out. Mainly because I don't want to bring mice into the shop. They may be here, but I'm not seeing them, and I don't see evidence of them in the shop. So if they stay outside, I'm fine with that. But I got to do that on the Pontiac. So that's coming up, and we'll get it cleaned up real good, pull all the inside stuff out, and go through all that. And then get that car ready to come in and start tearing it down and putting new parts on it. Still working on the motor thing. Still not 100% sure exactly what I'm going to do as far as motor. It's definitely leaning more towards the big block arena. So that brings up another question. Do I go ahead and pull the big block out of Big John and try to locate a Cummins motor? You know, the original plan was spend $1,000, $1,500, find a big block. There's a few floating around out there that are good, healthy motors that I can pick up around $1,500. But then I was like, well, then I'm gonna have 2 big blocks floating around, and I've got a perfectly good one in Big John. I mean, literally, it's got 7,000 miles on it. So now it's, you know, it's got the peanut port heads, it's lower compression, so it's not a, you know, monster, but it does have some good torque to it. But so that's kind of where I'm at right now, trying to figure out, okay, if I go ahead and hunt down a Cummins motor, do I get a 12 valve? Do I get a 24 valve? 24 valves seem to be easier to get than 12 valves. 12 valves are really hard to find, especially for low money. But if I stumble across a good big block for, you know, lower money, then I'll probably just go ahead and jump on that so I can get that car on the road. Also, I hate to get Big John with the motor pulled out and him not be mobile. That's a big truck just to have as a yard ornament. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at. So anyhow, I do appreciate y'all guys checking in and watching. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you got any comments or anything like that, drop a comment below. I read them all. I usually respond to all of them. Let's see. There's my social media stuff's down there in the description. I'm generally on Facebook and Instagram. I got other accounts, but I don't really check them. So anyways, well, that'll do it. So hope y'all guys have a good week, and we'll see y'all next week. We'll get into something, and till then, it ain't got to be perfect, just good enough. We'll see y'all later.